Hey there. If you're watching this, you've probably hit that incredible milestone of 60 or beyond. You've spent a lifetime working, raising a family, and generally doing what you were supposed to do. You've given so much of yourself. But as you enter this next chapter, something shifts. You start to realize that life isn't about chasing more and more. It's about making a choice, the choice to live better. And here's the quiet truth we don't often talk about. Living better sometimes means letting go. It's not about adding more to your to-do list, but about taking things off. The old habits, the beliefs, the pressures that just don't fit you anymore. In this video, we're going to dive into 9 crucial things you should think about letting go of after 60. This isn't because you've done anything wrong. Quite the opposite. It's because you've earned the right to more joy, more peace, and more freedom. These are lessons I've picked up over a decade of just listening to people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. Folks who have taught me what it really means to live well. Stick with me to the very end, because the last one might just completely change how you feel when you wake up tomorrow morning. Let's get into it. This one might feel a little rebellious. The first thing to let go of is saving out of fear. I know, save for a rainy day has been a mantra your whole life. But after 60, that mindset can become a cage. What happens when the later you were saving for is, well now? I once met a man who had more than enough money to last him, but he'd get this look of panic. Every time his wife suggested a simple trip, "What if something happens?" he'd say. I asked him gently, "What if you never use it? What if later never comes the way you think it will?" That question really stuck with him. He realized he was so prepared for a life he was afraid of. He wasn't living the one he had. Your money isn't just for emergencies anymore. It's for living, for connecting, for creating memories. So, I challenge you. Instead of asking, "What if I run out?" start asking, "What is worth spending on while I still can?" Your time is now. Okay, so you've given yourself permission to spend. Now let's talk about spending well. Think about all the things you buy out of habit, or guilt, or because you feel like you should. How much of that truly brings you happiness? I'm thinking of a woman who told me she used to spend thousands on clothes she never wore and gifts she felt pressured to give. But her most cherished memory? A $600 flight to surprise her sister. That weekend of laughter and deep conversation was worth more than all those shopping trips combined. That's the difference. After 60, your spending should be a mirror of your values. Do you love to travel? Do you cherish a weekly dinner with friends? Let go of the spending that feels heavy or meaningless. You've earned the right to a life without guilt. Ask yourself, is this helping me live the life I want? The goal isn't just more or less, it's meaning. For most of your life, time was a commodity. You put in the hours, you got a paycheck. It was a necessary exchange to build the life you have. But now, in this new chapter, your most valuable asset isn't money, it's time. I've met people who stayed in jobs they hated just because they were afraid to stop. They were so defined by their work, they didn't know who they were without it. But I also met a high school teacher who kept working until he was 67. When people asked when he was going to retire, he'd just say, "When I stop loving it." One morning, he just knew it was time, and he walked away with a quiet sense of peace. You can always earn more money, but you can never get back the time you've spent. If your work still brings you joy, by all means, keep going. But if it's draining you, it might be time to let it go. You've traded time for money long enough. Now, trade it for meaning. How many times have you said, "I'll take that trip someday," or "I'll start that hobby next year"? Here's the blunt, honest truth. Someday isn't a day on the calendar. For many people, it never comes. I knew a couple who dreamed of driving cross-country in an Airstream. They had the money, they had the time, but they kept saying, "Next summer." It wasn't until a health scare that they realized they had been waiting for a green light that was never coming. They finally packed up and hit the road. They told me it was the best decision they ever made. Not because every day was perfect, but because they finally did it. What have you been putting off? You don't need a perfect moment or anyone's permission. Waiting is often just a disguise for fear. What if this year, you let go of waiting and gave yourself permission to start living? You're not too old. It's not too late. The world is full of wonder, and all you have to do is say yes. This is a tough but crucial one. A lot of people think about retirement in terms of how many years they have left. But the better question is, how many healthy years do you have left? Without your health, money, travel, and plans all start to slip away. Would you rather have $20 million and be sick and in pain every day, or have $1 million and feel vibrant and full of life? Most people choose the latter, yet we live like we're chasing the first. You don't need to become a marathon runner overnight. Just start small. Walk a little more. Drink more water. Join a gentle fitness class. This isn't about vanity. It's about keeping your freedom. Your body is the vehicle for the life you want, and it needs care, maintenance, and love. Make that doctor's appointment. Take that first walk around the block. Health isn't about perfection. It's about momentum. The best time to start is now. For most of our lives, we've been shaped by other people's expectations. We try to be the good employee, the perfect parent, the reliable friend. But at some point, you have to ask, who am I living for now? I had a client in her 60s who was afraid to take a painting class. She loved art, but said, "What if people think it's silly at my age?" I told her, "So what if they do?" She took the class, and it changed everything. She wasn't trying to be a famous artist. She was finally giving herself permission to do something for her, with no apologies. The older you get, the more freedom you earn to stop caring about the noise. Want to wear bright colors? Do it. Travel alone? Do it. Say no to a gathering that drains you? You have that right. One of the top regrets of the dying is, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Don't let that be your story. Release the pressure to impress and live your life authentically. This one might surprise you. I'm not saying to ignore the world, but there's a huge difference between being informed and being emotionally consumed by news. If you spend hours every day watching a constant cycle of negativity, that stress and fear will steal your peace. I've never met someone who said, after watching 3 hours of cable news, I feel so much better about life. But I've met dozens of people who, once they stepped away, felt their mental health improve and their mood lift. After 60, your attention is a valuable resource. You get to choose where it goes. You can focus on what's broken, or you can focus on what's still beautiful. So stay informed, yes, but not at the cost of your peace. You've lived enough years to deserve more than to sit in fear. This is a delicate balance. On one side, we have people who completely avoid their finances, saying, it's too overwhelming. But ignoring a problem doesn't make it go away. It makes it grow in the dark. You need a clear understanding of your finances to have peace of mind. On the other side, we have people who obsess over every dollar, delaying joy because of a spreadsheet. You didn't save all your life just to watch a number on a screen. You saved to live. A strong financial plan should give you the confidence to say yes, not the fear that keeps you frozen. So, yes, talk to your advisor and make sure the basics are covered. But then let go. Use your money as a tool to build the life you want, not as a master that controls it. The ninth and final thing to let go of is the illusion that you have forever. I say this not to scare you, but to invite you to live more fully. By our 60s, most of us have faced loss. And in those quiet moments, we're reminded that life is not unlimited. We all know this in theory, but we still put things off. I often ask my clients a simple question. If you knew with absolute certainty that this was your last year, what would you do differently? Most people can answer instantly, but then they go back to living the same way. What's stopping you from doing some of that now? You don't need a crisis to wake up. You can wake up today and choose to live with the awareness of just how precious and fleeting life is. The point isn't to live in fear of death. It's to live in respect for life. You are here. You are breathing. You have today. And that is enough to stop waiting and start truly living. So there you have it. 9 things to let go of after 60, not because you've done anything wrong, but because you've earned the right to live more lightly and intentionally. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about making space for peace, joy, and what really matters. Let's quickly recap. Let go of saving out of fear. Let go of spending without joy. Let go of trading your time for money. Let go of putting off experiences. Let go of neglecting your health. Let go of caring what others think. Let go of the constant cycle of negativity. Let go of financial fear. And most of all, let go of the illusion that you have forever. Before we close, I want to ask you something personal. What are you ready to let go of, starting today? Share your answer in the comments. You never know who you might inspire. Thanks for watching. Hit the bell icon for the daily updates. Please do like, subscribe, and share with your friends.